Okay, welcome back to Clout 941. President is our next guest, Sam Rosenfeld. Sam, how are you doing?
Ron, I'm doing well. Okay, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about your family.
A little bit about my family. My wife and I, Sasha, and we've been married for 25 years. We met in Philadelphia just after I graduated from dental school. And we had a son, his name was Jordan, and Jordan was killed in a car accident 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So for the last, 2 years, we really did almost nothing. It's a black hole that I could not even explain to you. And running for office is really the first thing that we have undertaken to do. And,
probably been kind of like therapy for you, huh?
Yes, exactly. It's taken up a lot of our time. It's given us a direction. We have a purpose. So for all those reasons, it's really been very, very good.
Well, great. Tell us about your work background. I know you have kind of an interesting background. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, that's if you consider dentistry to be interesting.
And painful.
Well, I graduated from Temple Dental School, and I opened up dental centers that were contained within department stores. It didn't take me long to figure out that if 2 hands could produce X, more hands could produce multiples of that. So, that's where I made my stake in dentistry. I practiced dentistry for 25 years.
Okay.
And I was really very good at it. I enjoyed the patients. I enjoyed my staff members who, stayed with me for years and years and years. But it came to a point I just thought there needed to be something else in life. And so I set my sights on, when I was going to retire. The only drawback was it took a little bit longer to, sell the practice than I had ever imagined. And so I finally retired from dentistry. I came here in 2003. And I flew back and forth for about 1.5 years up to Philadelphia. I would work, 3 days a week there in Philly. And
that's where you come from, Philly?
Pittsburgh originally, but, Philadelphia is where I practiced.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I did that for about 1.5 years, and since then I've been retired since December of 2005.
Okay. Tell us maybe about a hobby of yours that may surprise people, something you like to do.
Something I like to do. Well, my wife is going to laugh, but I enjoy working in the garden with her. And, the 3 of us used to have a routine when we'd have the garden up in Philadelphia. My wife and son Jordan, worked well together. And, Jordan would dig the holes, and Sash would do the planting. And I was usually the guy that was out there, watering all these new plants, both at night, early in the morning. And so, Sash and I, would spend time out there. I enjoy running. That's something that I would enjoy. But, that's not going to be a surprise to anybody.
Winston Churchill said, war and gardening are the 2 natural preoccupations of man. So,
okay.
There you go. You're not going to go off to combat anytime soon.
No, but I think we could agree that running for office may get to be close to that. So we can agree on that. Right, exactly. So.
What's your favorite all-time band?
All-time band? I'd have to say the Moody Blues.
You're a 70s guy or 60s guy?
Yeah, late 60s, early 70s, right.
How about your favorite movie of all time?
Geez, if I go back to when I was a kid, and I was trying to think. The Magnificent Seven was my favorite movie as a child.
Okay.
I first saw that in Altoona, where my grandparents lived, and the movie just seemed to leave a big mark on me.
All right.
So.
Last question, kind of a
Sure.
background stuff. Is there a figure in history, somebody that is a historical, maybe a famous person that you most like to sit down and have lunch with? Who would it be?
Most like to have lunch with. Probably, King David, with that decision as to, what to do with the baby. Okay? Do you know the story?
Yeah, of
okay,
course.
fine. Okay, fine. Okay, so that would be.
You want to get some wisdom.
Well, yes, I think we need a lot of wisdom up in Tallahassee. Okay, we're going to see if we can take some with us.
Another thing we agree on.
Right.
Okay, let's go over some kind of campaign nuts and bolts before we get to the issue.
Okay.
Your biggest challenge, and I'm going to tell a little story about you. Your biggest challenge, of course, is in your district, Republicans outnumber Democrats. Not by a tremendous amount, but a significant amount.
Right.
And that's your challenge. And so a little story on primary day, election day, which is a Republican primary. It was all Republican voters out there voting. I'm out at the polls at Twin Lakes Park, and here you show up. And I said, Sam, what are you doing here? There's no Democrats voting today. And you said, I'm gonna talk all these Republicans into voting for me.
Right.
How'd that go?
To be perfectly honest, I think it's going well. Okay, I need to flip 1 out of every 5 Republicans, and I spent a lot of time down in Venice, and so that just seems to be working out well. I joined the Venice Chamber of Commerce, and I go to a lot of events down there. They had a wonderful event this last weekend down in Centennial Park. It was their big fall event, and there were thousands of people there. I mean, I handed out more palm cards than I had done in quite a while.
So you've spent a lot of time actually reaching across the party lines and trying to reach Republican voters.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and I think part of my background, coming from dentistry, having had 3 offices with 20 to 25 employees, and the short story is that I just know business. Okay, and I know the important role that small business plays in the community. And with establishing jobs and just doing things like that.
Okay.
And so I think the community down there, the business community, has accepted me, and so I've really made some inroads.
One of the questions I asked Doug Holder is the amount of money that's being spent in these kind of races across the state, not just here, but here just staggering amounts of money. I think last time Doug had spent about $360,000 of his own money, and this is a seat that pays $31,000 a year. So
there must be something going on up there.
What is going on?
Don't you think?
Why is so much money being spent in these races? Are you gonna spend $360,000?
We have put $45,000 into the race, and that when I decided to run for this seat, it was decided that I was either going to win on the issues or not. Okay, because putting in a large amount of money was not why I entered the race. Because I think the constituents here in District 70 are rather intelligent. They are very involved, and to be perfectly honest, I think that the people that are running for office, owe them a lot, and I think they, owe them becoming knowledgeable, with the issues, and not about who puts in more money.
All right.
And so that was rather important to me.
Okay, it's time for a break. We're going to come back and we're going to go over some of the issues that Sam's running on when we come back.